Facebook. Hello, hello, my friends, well wishers, viewers. It's my pleasure to talk to you again after a very long time. I'm just laughing. Why am I laughing? I'm laughing to. I'm just trying to see what Facebook will be all about, and allowing me to do a live program, because they asked, they said that I'm not permitted to do a live broadcast, and they said that I've been restricted in the number of people I'm going to reach. Not only that, including Africa World newspaper, in which I manage, but nonetheless, we still have to find a way to talk. But I've taken to more of writing since they have decided to restrict me on their platform. We know their platform is the highest and the largest in the world, so that is why we are on this. Nevertheless, I wouldn't want to take much of your time today. I just want to recount a bit of my experiences with the Nigerian police brutality. We've been seeing the amount of the extent of the protests in Nigeria, the end SARS. Actually, to talk about SARS is just SARS is a microcosm of the larger macrocosm Nigerian police. Nigerian police is all about the country. The country is not. The country is not progressive. It is. It's nothing to write home about. It's a banana republic. Not that we hate Nigerians, not at all, but we've seen that the system is not working. The system cannot work. We've been talking about this for a long time. I'm happy if you've been following my page since I've been allowed to write again. I was barred for 30 days. And after the 30 days, the next 2 days, they barred me again for 30 days. They've been doing this problem from Facebook. It didn't start to the right from 2014, 15, when I pushed in Africa World into their platform of the social media. They saw how we are moving, and they started restricting. That's it's a story for another day. Today, I just want to recount a bit of my experiences with police brutality. And some of you who do know me quite well back home know my antecedents, where I came out from. I've been to detention so many times, and many of you have shared similar fates as Nigerians. But there's these two particular incidents that I said on a very good day I'm going to write about it, but I can't wait to share these stories because this is the regular occurrence in Nigeria. It happens every day. Many of us, or if I say many of, most of us, especially if you are in the southern part of the country, Nigeria, you grew up with this, and we are very happy that Nigerians are beginning to wake up. Like someone said, this SARS, they've ended it a couple of times, but at the end of the day, they will still find their way out. The country is just sickening. It's sickening to our bone marrow. You know, that's why we've seen that this country can never move forward. It's not about hatred for Nigeria or Nigerians. No, it's about progress. It's about moving forward. I mean, enjoying. Like, this life is all about finding a way to be happy. The country, it's sickening to its citizens. It's man's inhumanity against fellow man, and a particular institution that is an exemplary form for Nigeria is the police. They're talking about they've picked out a unit in the police, but Taz, let me tell you my experience. The first one is should be around 1996, 97, when I left the seminary. I studied in the junior seminary and did my apostolic work. If you are in that process, you will understand what I'm talking about. So I came back to stay with my parents at Olo, because my dad was the licensing authority for Olo then. So we went to Olo. I moved to Olo to stay with my parents and my siblings. Then from Olo, I come from Omogoma. Omogoma is the new Owerri. If you know Imo State very well, you know about Owerri and Omogoma. So there's this new development areas. In fact, Omogoma, from Omogoma town and from Omogoma village, from Obosisi village, sorry to say, Obosisi village have boundary with Oworenchise on the control post. So all the estates you've seen, the new, the federal housing, the World Bank, there, all the lands there belong to my village, Obosisi and Omogoma. So my dad happened to be developing two plots of land there, trying to build a 5-bedroom flat, the other one 3, and boys' quarter. So when we finished this building, so I was supervising these buildings, and at the same time working as a laborer. You know, normally I love working hard, so I was working as a laborer and supervising the building. When I pay the masons and the laborer, I pay myself too. So when the buildings finished, so we started looking for tenants. That was when World Bank Housing Estate was still being developed. Now it's a very busy area. So there was my dad had a caretaker in at the village. Remember, I'm from Omogoma and Obosisi, despite the fact that the housing, World Bank, and all those estates around there belong to the land. It's my ancestral land before government took it. You know, in Nigeria, the Land Use Act or Land Use Decree empowers the government to seize people's land, ancestral land, and develop it without even proper compensation. So we had a caretaker back in the village who takes care of my father's property in the village while we lived at Olo then. And his name, they call him Isheburebu. He used to be a plumber. So when we finished the building, then we started looking for tenants to occupy that. So there was this man who owned a pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry was on the Irete. There's this industrial layout on Irete Road by the left. I think it's a Coca-Cola area. From that area, you get to, if you go inside, you can still find a route, although these places are now developed. So there was this man who owned a pharmaceutical company. So he wanted to rent the place. He met my dad's caretaker, and they negotiated the price. He wanted to rent the places for his managers. So when the caretaker came back, it happened that I traveled to Olo. When I came back to Owerri because I was supervising the buildings. Though, like I said, I work as a laborer too, while doing the supervision to get extra cash, for myself. So when I came back, I went to give my dad a report. So when I came back, the caretaker told me that there was a man, owner of a pharmaceutical industry on the industrial layout, that he wanted to rent the place, and he told him the price. So I said, no, the price is not what my dad wanted. We have to go and tell him the right price. So he said, okay, let's take a stroll. He knew the area very well, so we followed one Appian way towards his industrial complex. While we were walking on the route, I don't know, I've not been to that place now. I don't know how developed it is, but then there were still bushes in that area. It's a new estate. People are developing their plots. So we walked towards his complex. While walking, we saw the man on his convoy. There was 3 cars, Nigeria in those days. If you've watched this Nollywood flick, I don't, OO Finance, the man looked like exactly, I don't forget that movie. Oburie, Chief Oburie, he looked like Chief Oburie, very fair in complexion, should I say braggart, that era when 419ers, reigned in my area. So when we are walking, then I was still a teenager. I hadn't even gone into the university, but being at home, then I was, you wouldn't know, I wasn't in the university. So sometimes as young guys will always claim, because some of your mates and peers have gone into the university. So if they see you sometimes, if you hadn't gone into university, you'll be dodging. Or if they see you, you could claim that you've joined one school when you actually haven't even. So it was one of those things as a teenager to do. So when we were walking towards the man's industrial complex, so he was coming out, driving out on his convoy, 3 cars like that. So Isheburebu, my dad's caretaker now, told me, okay, that's the man, that's, so because the man, he's that kind of a typical Nigerian 419 during the 90s, so especially late 90s. So I stopped the man, I flagged the man down. The convoy was just coming, the road was dusty. I had to fling my hands, like I flagged them. So they just stopped, and he rolled down his side, his door glasses, and said yes. So I said, I greeted him. I brought a message from my dad. My father's caretaker, he said, you bargained to rent the properties for your manager, but I want to tell you that what you agreed with him isn't right. My father said it's not the right price to rent those properties. So that's why we're coming to your complex to inform you. Do you know, this was just what I told the man. And the man said, who am I? I said, I'm the landlord's son. He said, what's my name? I told him my name. Do you know the next thing? The man said, who gave me the audacity to flag down his convoy? I was just surprised. I looked at Ishebru and I said, no, we're just coming to your place to inform you that this is the situation with the flats you want to rent. And the man said, I must be stupid. He started cursing me, just a little bit I was, and said, look, I was shocked. And, the man was just started bragging unnecessarily. I said, okay, sorry, I'm sorry. I don't want to argue with you, sir. If you don't want to rent the place, we can just go. There's no problem, because there are many other, prospective tenants who are bidding to rent the property. So the man said I should just shut up. So I said, let's just leave this man and go. I don't want his trouble. The man said we should not move. If I move here, he's going to shoot me. I said, shoot me for what? My viewers, that was the beginning of Wahala. You know what? The man had to send, and the 3 cars, it was a convoy, so he had his boys. You know, that sort of thing. So he told them to go and get his gun. And they went and brought his pump action. It was the distance. His industrial complex was the only building occupying that road as at that time. It was still a new developmental estate. It's still being developed. So the man brought they brought a double barrel gun for him. So my caretaker was just shaking and shaking. I just shouted at the man. I was a small boy. I said, Ishimri, why are you shaking? Shaking for what? What did you do? Did you do anything? Why? And that period, this caretaker, his wife just was delivered of twins. So, that he said, okay, I should just keep quiet. His wife just delivered. He doesn't want trouble. This man is going to lock up. I said, lock you for what? What did you do? So, as a little boy, I wasn't afraid of the man. I said, what kind of rubbish is this? So the man brought out a gun and said he's going to shoot me. I said, shoot me. If you shoot me, what did I do? So he asked his boys to bundle me inside the car, inside one of the cars. I said, no, it's not going to happen. It was then I knew that my people will say that also when you are running for your life, you see energy, strength come from nowhere. You can imagine 3 hefty men couldn't bundle me inside the car. I held to the door. They tried to bully me, bundle me, and hit me everywhere. I said, I am not going to get into this. Our caretaker was panicking. I said, Shebu, don't panic. Nothing is going to happen. The man said he's going to shoot. I said, you can't shoot me. If you shoot me, you are going to be mobbed and killed. I am a son of the soil. You can't kill me. This is my ancestral land. Kill me for what? What did I do? So, before you know it, the man brought out his mobile phone. If you're Nigeria, you know when the era of North 9 North used to reign. It was only for big men, for you to get North 9 North. I thought that some musicians, Oliver the Cook and Co, sang with Deji 4 or something like that. So the man just called the police immediately and said, look, that some I don't know, then I didn't know what he told the police. He just told him, the man had networks. And so it was just within the next 15 minutes, the police Land Rover, old rickety Land Rover, just came in. And, they were just holding as if, searching me as if they just caught one armed robber like that. So they searched me everywhere. They got rosary, because I had rosary in my pockets, and keys, and stuff like that, wallets, some money that was left from errands I was running. They now took me and Isheburu, our caretaker, into their Land Rover and drove off to Shell Camp. That was my first detention in Nigerian police cell. It was a lot of experience. And you can imagine, a teenager, the only luck I had was Isheburu was there. He's a father, he had kids and a wife. So, and nobody knew our whereabouts. It was because my parents lived in Onitsha, in Olo. So nobody. Then it wasn't. There was no GSM in Nigeria. It was just not 9-0 or landline. So it was really tough. Nobody knew our whereabouts, and I came to the village supervising our new properties in the World Bank area. So I had nobody to inform. I slept in that cell. So why I decided to tell this story is what happened in the in that cell during the midnight of that day. So telling you what happened inside the cell on my own destiny was another story, because I came into the cell and you know, now if you've been to Nigerian cell, you see it's a different world. I ended up preaching, teaching them what's happening outside, giving them political education and things like that. But while I was in the cell, when around from 12 midnight, the policemen in who were on duty, you know what happened? You know, normally in the Nigerian cell, there's something they do. Women normally stay behind the counter. They don't put women, females inside the cell. They just put them behind the counter, sort of. So from midnight and so, they started picking the women one by one, taking them upstairs or so. They just took them outside. I don't know if upstairs or so. We are picking them one by one. I was just watching. I said, God, is this what happens in Nigerian cell? I never forget that. I said, look, on a very good day, I will talk about this, write about it, visit that shell camp, because it was horrible. They were picking the women one by one. This thing happened around between 12 to 2. Pick them one by one upstairs. And as early as 6 a.m., they started coming down. So it was obvious that they took them to have sexual intercourse with them. And why I'm saying this, you know, when we talk about the Nigerian police brutality, it's horrible. It's like the Nigerian system. The Nigerian system is terrible to Nigerians. Unfortunately, people keep quiet, you know. When you talk, they lock you up, they shoot you. Look at, even today, they shot somebody in Surulere. Despite the fact that it was announced that SARS has been closed down, there's still demonstration. Nigerians have found their voice again, because this SARS has been closed. It's been winded down. How many times? If you check it, you will see that early this year they made an announcement like that. But it's not going to happen, because the country is terrible. The system is bad. The administration is inhumane. People eat out of wickedness. Now, let me tell you, I am not saying that the entire personnel of the Nigerian police force are bad. No. I have friends. Many of us, our parents are police personnel. Some of our uncles, some of our husbands, our wives, our relatives. But the orientation, you see, when the bad ones emasculate the good ones, you know, they intimidate the good ones. Sometimes they say, when my people will say, "Ufuaka rotamano ya gazuo akanine." You see, look at what the SARS are doing. Broad daylight. We thank God that this, in as much as the social media, we have the bad side, there are equally the good side. These things are being exposed now to tell you what's been happening in that country. That country is a living hell for people. It's a living hell for people. When they call Nigeria zoo, it looks as if they are mocking Nigeria. No, but it's like an animal kingdom, the survival of the fittest. That's why you see in every part of the world, you see Nigerians are seen as very crude. You know, Nigerians are seen as wild. Now, despite the fact that we have intelligent people in that country, but the system now breed their citizens to be harsh, to be crude, to find the shortest cut to survival by any means necessary. And, you know, it doesn't augur well for those who are not of this character. In Nigeria now, you can't just get into the government office and get something. They must exploit you. Look at, I was in, last year, from Owerri to Port Harcourt, 23 checkpoints. From Owerri to Port Harcourt, 23 checkpoints. I was counting them. And any point the driver stops, he must give them money. And this is a journey that should ordinarily take like 30 minutes if the road were to be okay. 25-30 minutes. But because the road is bad, coupled with the checkpoints, it's now a 1-hour drive. 23 checkpoints. Anywhere you stop, you must hand money. If you don't hand them money, they will delay you till thy kingdom come. And you know, many people, because of your business, you know, the intimidation is so much. The intimidation is so much. When we talk about we want to restore our Republic of Biafra, it's not that we hate Nigerians. No, it's just that we want a place we can really organize in a better way. I'm not saying that if there's a Republic of Biafra, there will not be trouble. There will be trouble, we know. Because some of our people are now terrible. They are now wolves. They are greedy. They are wicked. They are ready to kill in order to make it. So it will now be, we will fight them. Look, some people say that, yes, of course, I'm aware. We are aware that eventually, if Biafra is restored, there could be a civil war, there's no problem. It is a brother and brother fight. We will fight it out until the good wins. Because there are people who are not ready to fight. There are those who, for instance, if you are in the Western society, they have institutions that take care of everyone. Whether there are people that are weak, there are the disabled, there are people who cannot fend for themselves. So those people must be looked after. In Nigeria, nobody talks about those ones. So these are, when we talk about police brutality, SARS is just it's a microcosm of a macrocosm police institution. The police in Nigeria is rotten. Even there are many good guys in Nigeria, but they don't talk. Many good policemen. I saw the guy that I served, you know, with a secondary school. He's a police top police officer, and he's a very good man from Eboma. When I saw him in police uniform getting promotion, he's been to fight Boko Haram. He came back. I prayed for him. He came back successfully. Yeah, and I said, look, imagine Nigeria police having this kind of good guys. There are many good guys. Some of my friends, their parents are police, but because of the rotten eggs in that force, we don't talk about the good ones. In Nigeria now, if you are detained, you have to pay to, despite the fact that bail is free. Look at the way they are shooting people as if many of the guys in SARS and in police, they are mad people. No psychiatric test. Because you have a gun, you will now intimidate. That's my first story. Then the second story, I never forget this share camp experience, because it was my first time of going to detention. I've been to detention many times in Nigeria. Some of you who schooled with me at Oka knows my story. During many of our struggles across the country, sometimes they just come put us into detention. Sometimes they come from Abuja and all those. I take that, but I don't want to start recounting all those numerous experiences. But this one, around 2010, I came back from Dublin to Nigeria. I was in Lagos. Some of you know Allen Avenue. There was this market behind Allen, but I think it's been redeveloped. The Alade Market. You may know the Alade Market. On that, beside, I think, Ikeja Airport Hotel, on the roundabout, Allen Junction or like that. So there used to be a market called Alade Market before. They changed money. So I was lodging in the nearby hotel there. So I went to Alade Market. I was going to Alade Market to change some currency. So unfortunately, there was a checkpoint in front of that Alade Market. So it was a busy place, but I was just crossing the road. And one of the police guys stopped me and said, can I see your ID? I said, my ID. I said, why do you want to see my ID? He started shouting at me. I said, okay, sorry, my ID. I don't live here, but I think I have my passport here. So I showed him my passport. Immediately, he now saw that I don't live in, because first of all, they looked at me from head to toe and looked at the kind I was wearing, and they tried to exploit me, So he took my passport. I said, why? What do you want to do with my passport? Is this not a Nigerian passport? Give me my passport, please. So I just took the passport of him. So he was aggravated. I said, I'm going to station with him. I said, go to the station for what? You've asked me my ID. I've given you my ID. I'm a Nigerian. I don't live here. He said, what do I do for a living? I said, why do you want to know what I do for a living? Because he's seen me, so this era they started picking up Yahoo guys or so. So he said, I'm going to the, I said, no, I cannot go with you to the station. Their pickup was packed just around the corner. And before you know, he tried to bully me. I said, no, you can't. But I'm not going to. So while we were arguing, the scene, a scene started being created around. People started watching, started gathering. So I started raising my voice because I want people to gather. Because Nigerian police, you don't trust Nigerian police. Most of you who are Nigerians know what I'm talking about. You don't trust Nigerian police. But I stood my ground so that these guys don't intimidate me. So I saw that my people will say Egu Abawago na Jeromi. So I decided to ask who is the team leader here. So I saw one man sitting at the at the pickup van. So I just walked straight to. I said, "Excuse me, sir, are you the team leader?" He said, "What is the problem? I should obey you. You know, Nigerian police, very arrogant. Many of them very, very arrogant." So I said, "Look, I just want to tell you, I don't live in Nigeria. I came back. I'm staying in one of the hotels, and I'm going to Alade market to change some currency. So, and they don't, when they hear that I'm going to change some currency, then some of you understand what I'm talking about. You know, Nigeria. Nigeria. So, and he asked, okay, you want to see they want to search me. I said, why do you want to search me? I've given your man my passport. He's seen that. So he said he wants to know actually if. I said, okay. I brought out my wallet and gave to the man. So he just checked and saw the cards. All the cards, they are foreign cards. My driver's license, my bank card, my green card. You know, all those cards, you know, here that are. So you know, so inside they are still euros. You know, so he said actually that I have to go with them to the office. I said go to the office to do what? So that you people will go and shoot me and take my wallet and all the things that I have and raise one allegation against me. I said it's not going to happen unless you are going to take my corpse to your destiny from this Alade junction. While this thing was happening, people gathered, and I started shouting, you know, arguing with them, embarrassing them, and stuff like that. So, and their team leader actually became frightened when people started raising their voices against them. He said, keep telling them this is what they do here, exploiting money, you know. It was a mixture of some people shouting in Igbo language, some in Yoruba. Don't mind them, Oloshi, you know, criminal, calling them all sorts of names. I said, it can't happen. I can't move an inch unless you want to take my corpse. And first of all, you have to shoot me. And you know, if you shoot me here, you are going to be mobbed and killed. So that was how it happened. And they just said, make I carry my wahala, go. This is just a tip of an iceberg of my experiences in the hands of. And a typical Nigerian have their own stories to tell. It's everyday story. Everyday story. Look at all the checkpoints. It's now a big in Nigeria. We know that the police don't get a good salary, but it's not peculiar to the personnel of the police force across the Nigeria civil service. Their take-home pay cannot take them home. So you don't. Instead of you to find a way to sort things out with your leaders, you are venting your anger on innocent Nigerians that are striving, working hard, wallowing in misery to even eke out a living. So that is why people like us are fed up with the country. And the only way is for us to find a way to dismantle that British concoction, because everything about Nigeria is exploitation. Everything about Nigeria is exploitation. Now, if you pack flights now in every city in Nigeria and ask Nigerians if you want to leave the country, you see, even if you pack 100,000 flights, the country, people will empty. Even they will leave everything they have to move. Look at Nigerians. Many are dying on the Mediterranean Sea. Their parents don't even know that they died. Lots of experiences. So it is high time, we demand a good life, and we demand a good life by dismantling the country or sitting down and talking about it, because these SARS they are talking, and this will start as being, this is what we no longer believe in the system. There's nothing you can talk now that I will believe in that, unless we sit down and renegotiate the country. Because we talk about police brutality. It's never in the north. The first time I traveled to the north, I was asking myself, is this actually part of Nigeria? Because you will not see police checkpoint. The first time they tried to see something like that was during the Jonathan era, and they were. Do you know that the South, particularly the old Eastern region, is like a police siege since I grew up in Nigeria. Seeing police checkpoints every day is something that is part of us. They do many things. They do commit a lot of atrocities. They rape women every day. They rape women every day. They sleep with women forcefully. No, we're not even talking about those ones are secondary issue. People are talking about the primary issue of wasting lives. How many people, if we start keeping counts of how many lives that have been lost because of 20 naira or 50 naira, I mean, there are thousands of lives have been lost. Accidental discharges. Nothing happens. You see the rank and file of Nigerian police. We have majority core northerners, majority Fulanese. Somebody will just migrate from Niger because he's a Fulani. You get into the police and he'll be posted to, and he will shoot and nothing happens. Go to our part of the country. Most DPOs, most area commanders, police commissioners are Fulanese. So how will they safeguard us? In this part of the world we are, no, if you are not a local, you cannot know some of the problems. So these are part of the things we are talking about. So when we talk about police brutality in Nigeria, but we look at it's a little of a big Nigeria picture. A country that doesn't care of, a country that the foreigners are ruling. So how will there be peace? How will there be safety? How will they carry us along? So I don't want to digress, but that's what I want to share with you guys today. I haven't talked for someone. You've seen Facebook said that they are restricting my outreach. So whatever, even if 100 million or 20,000 want to listen to me, they will always put it under 10. That is Facebook for. But that is their business. We'll find other ways to reach the public. From next month, Africa World News is going to launch its app. So we are devising. It is even nice that they are doing this so that they're waking us up, to be inventive, to make use of our ingenuity. In this era of social media, of a globalized village, we must find niche for ourselves. They don't have the monopoly of knowledge. This brain is given by God. I mean, where I come from, we look at things and manufacture them. We strive hard to make ends meet. Nobody stampedes us. That is why we want a level playing ground, so that everybody can strive and make it on their own. I thank you for listening to me. Facebook cannot stop us from getting what we want. We will work hard as long as this world is a violent, free place. Of course, we will always achieve it. But in the case of Nigeria, the only way out is to stand up for our right. However they want it. Those who think they have the monopoly of violence actually don't. They equally die. That is why groups like IPOB that have raised their dragon flag is fine. Tit for tat. Because if you kill me, I kill you back, so that you respect yourself. That is the only language they listen to. Even if they kill people like us, they haven't killed the idea. The idea is still there. Even if they like, they can shoot me. They've tried in the past when I was back home, even in Dublin here. But my dying is not the end of the world. The life continues. People are going to continue from the ideals for freedom and for progress and prosperity. Thank you for listening to me. I wish you God's blessings.